Okay, let me make this clear. This is not a bad movie. Just gonna say that right now. This is not a bad movie. I still think this movie is great. I still think it is another strong installment in the John Wick franchise. But it is the one with the most flaws. Out of all 4 of the movies we've gotten so far, this is the weakest one. Now, again, movie's still great, but it has some big problems. So, please understand this is nothing more than my personal opinion, and if you think that none of these flaws harm the movie at all, that's great. That's legit great, and I'm glad that you can enjoy it a little bit more than me. However, I still enjoyed this movie immensely, so even though I am going to be spending the first half of this review tearing it apart, trust me when I say it's out of tough love, because I love the first 2 so much. So, without further ado, welcome back to Amy's Station, welcome back to June-Wick. Let's talk about John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, and why I think it is the weakest of the John Wick movies, but still a great time. So, let's get the negatives out of the way first, shall we? Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great movie, and none of these John Wick movies fall below greatness, especially the 4th one. The 4th one is somehow even better than 2. But this is my least favorite of the 4, and it's mainly due to 3 major flaws. Just 3. First, the story is a bit of an overly convoluted mess. It does a good job carrying off from the ending of the 2nd one with everyone against John Wick now, but the problem is that there's so many threads and so many allegiances / betrayals that happen all throughout the movie that trying to remember them all, even after watching it, leads to a massive migraine. Like, trying to remember all the allegiances / betrayals / whatever in this movie is going to make your head hurt, because there's so much of it that it becomes a problem. And there are so many different storylines in just this one movie that it can get a little bit complicated. So, yeah, the story is an overly convoluted mess, but it's not to the point of being, like, awful or anything. It's just messy. Second, the main antagonist this time sucks. Like, the lady that they brought in from the high table to execute the high table's orders, she sucks. She's a bad villain. I didn't buy her for a second, and she is just so mediocre. I get that the High Table had to step in after the events of 2 and punish the Continental for aiding and abetting John Wick, who is now excommunicado. But my goodness, the character they used to carry that out was so unbelievably boring that it caused eye rolling. Like, every time this character was on screen, even if she was punishing somebody, I just felt nothing. I felt nothing, and I didn't feel bad for this character when she, I think, gets her comeuppance. Like I said, trying to remember everything that happens in this movie, even after just watching it again, is migraine-inducing. But yeah, the female main antagonist here sucks. And finally, my biggest problem with the movie, it is way too long at 130 minutes, which makes it the longest of the 3 original films. And it wouldn't be a problem if so much of it wasn't filler or very egregious exposition dumping that temporarily grinds that solid pacing to a screeching halt every 20 to 25 minutes. Now, I'm not saying that exposition dumping is always a bad thing, but you have to have a balance. And if you saw my Attack on Titan reviews, you know that show's biggest problem was that it couldn't find that balance. What made John Wick 1 and 2 work so well is that it was able to find that balance between exposition and action. This, it's like action is here and your exposition is here. Like, you see the problem? There's too much of one and not enough of the other. And yes, I know that John Wick 4 is 3 hours, I know. But since that one has a lot more action and far less exposition, those 3 hours fly by. I don't feel it, which I'll talk about a lot when I get to that review next. Also, it's weird that this is the only film in the series so far to have a subtitle. keep in mind, Ballerina isn't out yet. Like, it's not bad, it's just kind of odd. Like, this is the only one to have, like, a little subtitle, whereas the rest were just Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and even later, Chapter 4. Like, I just find that weird. I'm not saying it's a bad subtitle, I think Parabellum is actually a pretty cool name, but, again, having this be the only one to have a subtitle, it's a weird decision. It's just a weird decision that I don't understand. Again, though, I'm done crapping on it now, because this is still a great movie. Action is even better, the tension is high, especially everyone being after John now because he has a contract on his head and he's excommunicado from the Continental. It's still hyper-violent and brutal as all hell. The final act is genuinely awesome with that huge final brawl inside the Continental, where John temporarily teams up with the... what the heck was the dude's name? The old guy and the guy played by the late great Lance Reddick, may he rest in peace. That didn't correct me. Thank you. Those two. The cinematography is still incredible. It's still oozing with style. Directing is still top-notch from Chad Stahelski. I forgot to talk about it in the other two reviews, but he is one of the biggest reasons why these movies work so well. And it still has good rewatchability. Like, I can still rewatch this along with the other 3 movies, and I don't have a problem with it. It is the most flawed of the 4, for the reasons I literally just mentioned, but it's by no means bad. It's still very enjoyable. Like, this movie's still great. Like, yes, it does fall off a bit from Chapter 2, but don't let that diminish that this is still a great movie. It still has everything you love about June-Wick. It just has 3 major flaws that keep me from being able to put it on the same level as the first 2 movies. However, I do still love this installment, and I still really, really enjoy it, even despite its massive faults. And because of that, my final verdict for June-Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is going to be a 9 out of 10. Yes, it's just half a point under the original because of those flaws, but besides that, this is still a great movie. It still gives you all the crazy, hyper-violent action that you want. I just wish that the story was better, I wish the antagonist wasn't crap, and I wish it was a lot shorter and had far less exposition. That's just me. So yeah, I mean, if you're one of the people that thinks this is like one of the best installments in the franchise, I get it. I don't agree, but I get it. And if you're one of the people that finds this movie kind of more middle tier, I also get it. This is one of those movies where people all agree that it's at least good, but how good depends on the person that you're asking. Me, I still think this movie's great, even despite its massive flaws. So, yeah, that's my complicated and still somewhat positive views and opinion on June-Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this movie and the June-Wick franchise in general in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys next time when we get to the best movie in this franchise. And one of the coolest freaking action movies I've seen in the past 20 years. I'll tell you all about next time with the incredible video game-inspired badassery of June-Wick Chapter 4. Excited for what comes up ahead. Hey, Shenron.